In this video, we will see what is a Docker image, what is a Docker container, and what is the difference between a Docker image and a container. Let us start. Docker image is a read-only template, a lightweight, standalone, executable package of software that includes everything needed to run an application. Let us understand this statement. Generally, to run an application, we need to have the operating system, and we need to have the operating system libraries and specific tools, and also we need to have the dependencies for a particular application and the application code. So Docker image is an executable package of software that includes everything needed to run that application. That means the Docker image will have the basic OS and the tools and libraries and the application dependencies and the application code. So that means Docker image contains the combination of all these things, which finally creates a standalone executable package of the application. So Docker image is a read-only template. That means when we create a Docker image, we cannot change any file inside it. If we want to change any files in the Docker image, we have to create a container of this image, and we have to change the files and create a new image of the image. So we cannot change any file in the existing image. And also it is lightweight. So the Docker images are lightweight because they contain only the required things. For example, it will not contain the entire operating system, and it will not contain the tools or libraries, etc., which are not required. It only contains the application code and its dependencies and the minimal operating system. As I said earlier, we cannot change any file inside the image once the image is created. That means the Docker image is immutable. So how it packages? It uses layered file system for preparing the packages. That means all these OS, libraries, dependencies, application code, everything will be stored in terms of layers. Now we understand that Docker image is an executable package of software which includes everything needed to run that application. Now let us understand what is a Docker container. Docker container is an instance of a Docker image. So when we create a Docker container, it will create a process that executes the application inside the Docker image. So in the image, we can see that we have a Docker image which contains all the required layers for an application. So all these layers are read-only. So now when we create a container of this image, it will create a read-write layer on top of these read-only layers. So once the container is created and the container is in execution phase, the Docker will change all the required files, etc. in this read-write layer. If any file needs to be modified in these layers, that file will be copied to this read-write layer and it will be changed in this layer. This is called copy on write file system. That means the files will be copied to this read-write layer and those will be written in this layer. This read-write layer is temporary. That means whenever the container is deleted or terminated, this layer also will be deleted. So in summary, the container is an instance of a Docker image. When we create a container, a process will be created which creates a read-write layer on top of the existing read-only layers of the Docker image, and all the modifications of the files, etc. will be done in the read-write layer, and this read-write layer is a temporary layer. So this layer will be present as long as the container is up and running. Now we understand about Docker image and container. So the main difference between Docker image and a container is the Docker image is an executable package which contains the read-only layers, while the container is a process which is created out of this image, and it will contain the read-write layer in addition to the read-only layers. Now let us see more about this image and container in the hands-on. This is a Linux terminal. We do not have any Docker images here. Let us try to pull a Docker image from the Docker Hub. So here I am downloading the Nginx Docker image from the Docker Hub. So here from the output, we can see that it is downloading all the layers of the image from the Docker Hub. So now we have the image. We can check with Docker image ls command. If we want to see all the layers of this image, if we want to see all the read-only layers of this image, we can use Docker inspect command. So Docker image inspect and corresponding image name. So here we have like 6 layers. So all these layers are read-only layers of the Nginx image. Now let us pull another image called Ubuntu. So now we have another image. We can verify the Docker images command again. So now we have 2 images. So now let us try to add more layers for this image. So for that, let me create a text file. So let us try to add this text file to the image. So for that, I will create a Docker file. I will use Ubuntu as the base image for this. I am copying the file hi.txt to the temp directory. So let us try to save this. Now let us try to build a new image using this Docker file. So I am giving the tag for this image as test1. So now it has created a new image. We can verify the images now. So now we have 3 images. Now let us try to inspect the layers for this Ubuntu image and test1 image. So in Ubuntu we have downloaded one layer. So we can see that layer here. Since we have added one file in the test1 image, we should be able to see 2 layers now. So for the test1 image, we have an extra layer. This is how new layers will be added to the existing image when we add instructions in the Docker file. So generally when we modify the files in the image, a new image will be created with corresponding layers. So now let us try to create a container out of the image. For that we will use docker run command. So I am running in the background. So now a new container is created. So this container will create a new process in the machine. So for that we can verify the container process using docker ps command. Here we can see that a new container is created and this is the container ID. So for this new containers, generally Docker will create new directories in the file system. Let me log in with root user. We have a default directory where libdocker. This is where all the Docker images, containers, everything will be stored. Here it will create a new directory for the new container. So this is the directory where it will try to modify the files of the container. If we delete the container, this directory will be deleted. Let us do that. So I am deleting the existing containers here. So now the container is deleted. We can verify that using docker ps. We don't have any containers. Now let us see the directories here. Now we don't have these 2 directories. So these directories are deleted because we have deleted the container as well. In this video, we have learned about what is a Docker image, what is a Docker container, and what are the differences between a Docker image and a container. I hope this video is useful to you. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.